Hey, there we are. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to British Science Week, you budding scientists, you all. Welcome, as always, to an Adobe Express live lesson. I'm going to say live session, live lesson. That's what we call them. I am your host with the most, Dom Trainer, and I'll be here guiding you through British Science Week. Now, a few things before we get started. Number one, have Express open. That's really important. Number two, get yourself on the activity page. It's down there on the scrolly, adobe.ly/BSW 2026. Number three, this is a live stream, so you can pause me at any time. That's absolutely fine. If you feel like you're getting a little bit behind, no problem at all. And just press play whenever you want to catch up. But don't press, pause too early. Because I'll be going through things pretty slowly. Hopefully you'll catch up pretty quickly in certain places and stuff like that. But if you are getting a bit too far behind, press and pause, no problem at all. And what's the other rule I was going to say? Oh yeah, teachers, make sure you're registered for this session, because I'm going to send out certificates for all of those scientists in your classroom around about 4 o'clock. And if you're not registered, you won't get them. Can't say further than that. Right. Let's get the activity page up there. There we go. British Science Week 2026. You can see the short link on the scrolly. You can see it there at the top on the right-hand side. You can also got a QR code if you're on an iPad. You can open up your camera app, scan the QR code. It will take you straight through to this page. Okay, what are we doing today? Well, I had a lot of fun doing this. Activity 1 is a paper plane instructional graphic. What's the best design for a paper aeroplane? Show how to build it by making an instructional graphic. We're going to do a pretty simple one here. It's actually really good fun doing this one, but you do have to concentrate. Make sure you're concentrating today because we're going to be doing lots of little tiny details and things like that. I will be keeping it as simple as possible, but you can see all the instructions that you're going to put on your instructional graphic here. If you're on an iPad, click text for iPad users, and it will take you through to here, where you can have it all, and it's very easy for you to copy and paste and those kind of things. Okay, let's go back to here. So this is the first one we're going to do, and this comes from the British Science Week Challenge Pack. Click that link. It'll take you through to here. And there's loads of things that you can do. The theme this year is curiosity. There we go. The theme this year is curiosity. What's your question? And I've chosen the best design for a paper aeroplane one, but there's loads of different things in here. Feel free to use these and do more of them. You totally should. I think there's competitions and stuff like that, which is great. Okay, but what we need to have open here is this Adobe Express, of course. I'd like to point out the monthly creative challenge for design skills. This is cool. You should totally do this, or send it as homework or something like that. Do it in a club. All of it is good stuff. Right. In order to create our infographic or instructional graphic, I'm going to go to create a poster just in here, this pink one. Give it a click. Okay. Now on the browser, certainly it's a good idea to name your title. Actually, you can do this on the iPad now as well. So I'm going to call it Paper Plane Live. Maybe I'll call it Paper Plane Live because now I'm doing it live. Why not? Okay. Now, there's some very important things that you must follow here, okay? The first one being you're going to go to Edit Page. Now, I think it's new on the iPad now. Just need to check. I know some things have moved over to the iPad, but iPads, you might still have your background color of your page across the top ribbon here. But if not, you'll click the Edit Page and then Background. Here's where I'm going to choose, I think, this blue. Now, it is very important that you choose a color. And I'm going to say choose something on the lighter side. Don't go for like a a really kind of aggressive color or a dark color, something like that. We want to go something on the lighter side because we're actually going to be, should I explain this now? We're going to be putting shapes on there in order to mask things. And so don't be putting a background on there. You know, often we'll go into add content backgrounds and you'll have a funky background. Don't do that today. Don't put a funky background on. Put a solid color on. Okay, lecture over. I shall move on. Right, so add some text. T for text. Add your text. Right, and this is where you could, you could, I'll just type it out. How to make a paper plane. Flip it. What am I saying? How to make a paper plane. Okay. Now, you know what I'm going to do here. I always do it. Text layouts on the left-hand side. You can see it there. Give it a click. Get it dynamic. Don't be messing around. Get it dynamic. Right. Now I'm going to choose some colors and some fonts and things like that. So you need to have it selected so that this editing panel appears on the left-hand side. I'm going to go for Meredith Jones's favorite font, Dynapuff. I'm going to go Dynapuff Bold. Boom. Like it. It's kind of fun. It's playful. But you can do whatever you like. Go into recommended fonts here. But Dynapuff is the one for me. So I'm going to do that one. You can go into recommended fonts though, if you like. Now, text color. Maybe I'll go for a purple, which does not make it stand out. I agree. But how can I make that stand out once I've chosen? Well, I can go to outline color and I'll choose a yellow. Yeah, that'll make it stand off. But I also want to make it slightly thicker. So you can see here, outline thickness. You see it on the left-hand side there. Outline thickness button. Nice. Maybe even more. Yeah, cartoony. Round about there seems to be the perfect place. Now, at the moment it's on 2 lines, but because it's dynamic, I can just stretch this box out and make it onto 1 line, something like that, and then pop it at the top. Okay, now you can see that pink line is making it easy for me to align things. Now, the reason why I wanted to, it's looking quite small, that, isn't it? Looking quite small. But the reason why I wanted it to go onto 1 line is because I need as much space as possible in this instructional graphic. So actually, I'm going to leave it there for now. I think it's good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to duplicate. I've got exactly the same copy. I went to a lot of trouble of putting the fonts and the colors and that kind of thing. And then I'm just going to triple click in here. And I'm just going to press 1. Right? Because I need to have, I think it's 5 steps on my graphic. Yeah, 5 steps on my graphic. So this is going to be step number 1. And in the effects on the left-hand side, give that a click, scroll down, and I'm going to go and put it in the shape. Now, I think because Dynapuff, if you look at it, it's very bubbly, isn't it? It's like bubbly and round. So I'm going to put a shape, a round shape, and that's cool. Put it in as yellow. That's good with me. Makes it look good. And then I'll click in the gray, and that's kind of committed. It means you've made that choice, and it's all good. Right. Then I'm going to duplicate that. Take that down here and maybe pop it. Yeah, maybe pop it just there. But I'm going to triple click in there. 2. Now, sometimes it does kind of change the size a bit, but you work it out. You don't have to worry too much about them all being exactly the same size. And then I'm going to go to 3 down here. Now, because of the kind of the sort of the curves and the playfulness of the fonts, I'm not really that worried about making sure everything lines up. Normally I would be. I'd be a bit obsessive about it maybe, but I can offset them a bit. So that's going to be 3. Duplicate. Number 4 down here. Maybe move that in a bit, give us a bit more space, something like that. And then duplicate, and maybe number 5 here. Now, I probably am going to have to play around with where all of these sits. I'll have a little play now. Why not? But just make sure that I've got enough space for all of the stuff I'm needing to say in here. Okay. Right. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a couple of shapes. Okay. So we're going to put a couple of shapes together. Where do you find the shapes? You go to add content, you go down to elements, give it a click, scroll across to shapes. We'll go into rectangles, and I'm just looking for a simple rectangle like that. Now, that is going to be like half of a piece of paper. Okay, let me zoom in. So I'm just using my fingers on my trackpad to zoom in. On the iPad, you can just pinch. I'm going to make it a bit smaller, like that. Right. Now, what color am I going to make this? I'm going to make it a lovely green. Nice. That seems to complement the colors on my page. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate that. And I've got 2 green boxes. And you can see the way I'm making sure that it sits directly underneath. Because what I'm looking to represent here is a piece of A4 paper. So you can do this paper aeroplane, right? You can do this, and after this session's done, you're more than welcome to go and actually make it amazing. So I'll do like a kind of, this is meant to be represent an A4 piece of paper which you're folding in half, and so we're kind of showing that we've got 2 sides of the same piece of paper. Now, the other thing that I think you need to do is go into add content, elements again. Let's back out of this, go to all, and just go to line. Okay. Now, this is where you probably need to go to shapes and just get a line. Okay. Now, let's click that line. Let's make it a little bit chunkier. There is about good. 20 is about good, right? But the border style, scroll along and go to dotted. Now, this is something we're going to reuse, okay? Because this is going to be your folding line. So you're always going to use these dotted lines to show people this is where you need to fold this piece of paper. Hope that is clear, okay? Right, now that's done, I'm going to go over to, where am I going to go? I'm going to go here. And I'll get my first instruction. Fold an A4 sheet in half as shown, then unfold it, okay? If you go in here, it's down here as well. Fold an A4 sheet in half, and as shown, then unfold it. I'm going to copy that text. I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to go to T for text, add your text. It's given me Dynapuff, and it's given me in black. Actually really useful. Paste in my text. And then all I have to do then is bring this in, maybe bring the box down, and then reduce the size of it. There you go. You decide where you think the best place. I mean, there is pretty good. So that's your first instruction. Fold an A4 sheet in half as shown, then unfold it. And you've done that. You've shown that just using these, very simple shapes up here. Right. Make sure you're concentrating, okay? Because we're going to get a little bit more kind of, not complicated, but you're going to have to listen, okay? You're going to have to listen carefully. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to get one of the halves of our A4 sheets, duplicate it, bring it down here. Okay, pop it there. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go over to add content, elements, and I'm just going to search for triangle. Triangle. There we go. Okay. Now, what am I looking for? I mean, it doesn't really matter. like this one is good. It needs to be a right angle triangle. So I said it didn't really matter. It matters massively. You're looking for a right angle triangle. Right, now, just like we did in the first step, we need to make sure that people are understanding the different folds and sections of our piece of paper. So we're going to do that by changing the color. Okay, so fill, change it to this green here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it in so that it sits about there and bring it down until the corner meets. Is this one here? This one, I think it's in the right place, roughly. Okay, cool. So we're going to put a triangle here. Let's make sure that it sits perfectly. There we go. I'm going to duplicate it again. So I've got another one. Now you're going to have to change the color of this one slightly. Now here's a trick for you. Go to fill. And this time go to custom. And then just take that and just move it ever so slightly in a different direction. There we go. That's done. And then position, you want to flip it horizontally. Okay, then grab that, stick it in here. Now you can see that my first triangle is too big. It's not in the middle. There's the middle. Okay. So now I'm going to pop this one there and then bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. There we go. Nice. Okay. So in this one, what you're doing is once you've folded your sheet, in step 1, what are you doing in step 2? Well, let's go and say, fold the 2 top corners in to make a point. Copy. Fold the 2 top corners in to make a point. So let's get this piece of text from step 1, duplicate it, bring it over here for step 2, triple click, paste in your new instruction. I mean, maybe these could be smaller. I don't know. Get them onto 2 lines, maybe. Just so it's nice and clear. We've got lots of nice space. Maybe this would be the same. Get onto 2 lines. There we go. Pop it in there. Okie dokie. So fold the two top corners in to make a point. Now, how are we going to show that on the screen? We're going to do that by getting our dotted line that we did in step 1, duplicating, bring it down, pop it right on top there. Now, what we want to do with this, if I zoom in here, oops, zoom in here, there we go, click it, bring these corners in. There we go, that hits there. You see, it's letting me do that. Nice. Duplicate again. We've got it now. And then I want to rotate this 90 degrees. Bring it down here. Bring it in. Bring it in. Duplicate. And now you're doing it once. You just duplicate that again. Bring it over to the far side. And what you're showing people is that the corners have been folded in. They have been folded in here. And the way that we're going to do that is by going to add content, design assets, go in here. I mean, you can go all actually and just go arrow. And I'm looking for kind of slightly curved arrow. Let me look at the design assets. This one's good. Yeah. So we're just going to bring that down to around about there. Maybe make it a bit smaller. Pop it in. There we go. So we're showing that you're taking that corner and folding it into the middle. And all I need to do now is go to the 3 dots, duplicate that, pop it over this side, but this time position, flip horizontally. There you go. So you're just showing them that that's how you do your corners. Fold two top corners in to make a point. Nice. We're doing well. Stay with me, everyone. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take these shapes from step 2. So if you're on a browser, for example, you can click one, press shift, hold it down, press the second. Oh, what's it selected there? Oh, hang on a minute. Let's just do it one by one. All right. Select the first one, duplicate, bring it down here. Oops, bring it into number 3. Okay, cool. Zoom out a bit. It's triangle, duplicate, bring it over here. This just makes it a bit simpler. You can do it as a group by pressing shift and then selecting all the things you want to bring down, but I'll just make it simple. There we go. Nice. Okay, so we've got exactly the same shapes as before, but now what we want to do is we want to get, let's get our big diagonal line. How do we get that? There we go. Duplicate that, bring it over here. Now you can see that it's sitting behind these triangles. I don't want that. I want it to be at the front. So I'm going to go to more, bring to front, and then I'm going to duplicate it again. There we go. So we've got 2 of these. And where I want to position this is so that the top of it is right on the point there, but the bottom of it doesn't reach the bottom. It reaches ever so slightly to the side there. So you're making these kind of special wings. So that's where one of them needs to go. And then the other one, bring that down. So now let's have a look. If I click the first one and hold the rotation button down, 60. Okay. Let's make it exactly 60. 60. Okay, so that means that this angle here needs to be let's have a look. It needs to be 60 also. There we go. Now it doesn't need to be exact, but it is good if you can. Just shows you've got good control, I suppose. But no, but see, I can't get between 59 and 61. There we go. Got it. And then I can use my arrow keys to just kind of nudge this into the right position. Just help it on its way. Okay. Because now that you've folded those corners in and you've made the kind of nose of the plane, now you need to make the wings. And you make the wings by folding this section here into the middle line. Okay. So similarly to what we did before, we're going to get the arrow, 3 dots, duplicate, bring that down here. So I'm going to say these need to be folded in on this line. And then I'll get this one, 3 dots, duplicate, bring that down. These need to be folded in on this line. Okay, let's go and get the instruction. So the instruction is, I'll get it from here actually. Now fold the edges in again so they meet the middle from the tip. Copy that text. Go back here, select some of your text from before, duplicate it, bring it down here, triple click in the box, paste in your new instruction. Cool. So now fold the edges in again so they meet the middle from the tip. Nice. You can make these arrows bigger if you like. If you really want to show that it should like hit the middle. Something like that. So you could do that. Something like that. To make sure that people know, yeah, you're going to fold that section all the way into the middle. I mean, they could be even bigger at the back here. And that'll show people, this whole section here needs to be folded into the middle. Nice. Okay. Now that we've done that, this is where we're going to get, this is where we're going to be really sneaky. All right, this is where we're going to be really sneaky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to this page and fold the plane in half again. I'm going to get that piece of instruction. Okay, select my text, duplicate it. You are going to be making one incredible paper plane here. The aerodynamics are going to be off the charts. Okay, that'll do. Fold the plane in half again. So we've got our instruction. So how are we going to show this to them, right? I'm going to do that by getting a dotted line, duplicating it, bringing it across. Let's get this back on a nice straight 90-degree angle. Pop it around about there. Okay. Probably doesn't need to be quite so big. But what we're going to do is we're going to make it's not a complex shape, but it's definitely one that you need to be concentrating for, okay? So first off, we're going to go and let's get this shape here, duplicate it, bring it down. Okay. Now, you can do this in different ways. You can stretch it up like that, make it a bit thinner, make it a bit thinner there, for example. Nice. Somewhere around about there. So now that you've got that one in position, I'm going to select it, duplicate it, change the fill color. And now I'm going to bring it up and put it on an angle, right? And that angle has got to make sure, you've got to make sure that you've got a little piece here. Okay. So what angle have I got this on? 38. That looks good. And then I'm going to bring it right over the top here. Right, around about there. Okay. Right. This looks mad right now, but let's start making this make sense. So I'm going to duplicate that again. Right. Got this one here. I'm going to change it so the fill color is exactly the same as my background. Okay. I'm going to spin it on to 0 degrees there. So I'm using this so I can hide this little corner here. All right. There we go. Need to make it a bit thinner. That's okay. I'm going to use it just to hide my corner there. All right. Then when I've got that, I'm going to duplicate it again. Bring it so that it's covering this section here. And then I'm going to duplicate it again. And I'm going to spin this so that I have a nice clean edge that goes from the bottom. This is the edge of your wing, you see. You just need to play around with this until you get it just right. There we go. Yeah? You're going to have it so that you've got, it touches the bottom there, and then it just gives you the little point, gives you a tiny little point on your plane there, which means you can show how you're going to fold your plane in half. And we're going to use one of these arrows. In fact, let's use a different arrow. Let's go to Add Content, Elements. And I want an arrow that's got a bit more bend on it, because you want to be folding this plane in half, yeah? So I'm going to click this one. Now it comes in as red, not totally down with the red, but I can change that really easy by going to Effects and then Grayscale. Just Grayscale makes it fold really quickly. And this is showing that you want to fold your plane in half again. Fold your plane in half again. Okay. And then when you've done that, you've got your last one, which the instruction for that is right here. Now fold the diagonal edges down to meet the straight edges, making the wings. Go back to your piece of text here, duplicate that, bring it down, triple click in there, paste in your new text. There's a lot more text here, so maybe this needs to be smaller. Something like that. And make that a bit bigger. There we go. Now fold the diagonal edges down to meet the straight edges, making the wings. And rather than go through all of the steps of shapes and things like that, here's where you're best off going to add content, go to elements, icons, have a look through paper planes. I'm going to suggest you go for one which you can change the color of, so you want it to be a solid one. All these three are good, actually. Maybe this one is the one I'm going to go for. Oh, it's giving me the perfect color I want. That's nice. And I'll stick it in there. Nice. And if I needed to or wanted to, I could change the color of that. But I think the lighter green is slightly easier to see. And there you go. That's how you create it. Now, I did want to just go over ever so slightly what we did down here. Don't forget what we did here. We did a dotted line. We did a straight light green rectangle. We did on an angle green. You see this one here? That's the one that we did down here. Oh, where's my page gone? Here we go. On an angle, I chose 38 degrees or minus 38 degrees. Made sure that I've got it running from not at the bottom corner, off the bottom corner, and then make sure that it runs through so you've got a little tip at the top. And then you have 3, 1, same color as your background. Just making sure, because you see you've got to hide that bit at the top there, making sure that bit's hidden. You've got another one here, giving you your angle of your wing. And then you've got a third one down here, giving you a straight edge. There you go. That's how you make your paper plane instructional graphic. Nice work. That's complex. And you did well. Don't forget you can pause at any time. Now, downloading it is easy. Download, file formats, PDF print. That's good. You can click download there. And you can also click share. Send it to Google Classrooms, Microsoft Teams, or create a view-only link of your work by clicking create link. And don't forget, you can also, if I go back, invite people like your teacher or other pupils to collaborate with you on there, whoever you like. Okay, nice. Let's go back to our challenge or activity page, as we call it now. Activity 2, curiosity. What's your question? Make a video asking questions about the things you are curious about. I put a question mark in there. It should just be a full stop. I can't believe it. Anyway, never mind. So anyway, we're going to make a quick video here. It's a very simple one with possible questions. Now, I've got lots of possible questions in here. Like, why is the sky blue? I don't know. How much does the Earth weigh? I don't know. Why does the moon appear in the daytime? I sort of know that one. My kids ask that all the time, and I kind of have a good answer. But things like, why is water wet? I mean, that's sort of, what? Do aliens exist? Yeah, man. Why is the ocean blue? All of these kind of things. So we're going to be making a video about all of the curious questions that you've got, and maybe you'd like to take one or two of them and go and research them at home, or maybe you'll research them as a class. Who knows? But we want to make sure that we get your questions out there, and we're going to do that by doing some video editing. Okay, so if I go back to our instructional graphic here and then go up to the top left, click the big A for Adobe, and then go over to the cheetah, the leopard, cheetah. I don't know what the difference is. Create a video. There we go. Okay. Now, what is going to be the title? I'm going to call it Curious Video or Curious British Science Week. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so the theme for British Science Week 2026 is, curiosity. What is your question? I'll show you. It says it here. Curiosity. What's your question? So what you can do with that is you could go to Tiva Text, add a text, curiosity. Let's do a colon. What's your question? Okay, so let's put that in there. And then, do you know what? I'm going to go Dynapuff again. Dynapuff. Bold, yes. Text layout, dynamic, yes. Oh, that's nice. Your question. Right, and maybe I'll stick that right. I mean, it could be in the middle. I don't know. I suppose it depends on the background, doesn't it? Well, curiosity, what's your question? Things like the colors and stuff like that will completely depend on the background as well. So the background could be a video, could be a photo. I think I'm going to try videos, to be honest. I'm going to add content, media, and I'll go to videos, search videos. Maybe I'll just put question in there, see what's going on. Ah, this one's class. I like, there's all sorts of good ones in here, actually. That one's quite good. This dude with the funky hair is pretty cool as well. But I like this first one. It's good. Add as a layer on canvas. Okay. Now, what have we got here? Well, we've got this video is on top of our question. So in our layer stack on the right-hand side, you can see it over here. Click your question, bring it on top. Curiosity, what's your question? Maybe I'll pop it right in the center. There we go, nice. Curiosity, what's your question? Let's play and see what it looks like. Okay, that's cool. That's a great video to start off with. The only problem I've got with it is that this text is getting lost with that background. So maybe I need to put an outline color of it of white. Yeah, you see? And then maybe you need to bring the outline thickness up. Curiosity, what's your question? Right, I like that. Now, that's cool. But I think I'd like to put some animation on this too. So I'm going to go to animation. How do I want it to come in? I think I might want it to spin in. Yes. Why not? Duration. That's quite slow. Maybe I might have it coming quick. Intensity. Oh, yeah. A bit more. Yeah, a bit more of a flip on there. Nice. It's got a fade on it. Got a direction. Start outside a page. Yeah, why not? Let's do it. But maybe it can spin down. Yeah, you got all sorts of settings on there. Curiosity, what's your question? Okay, so now that I've got that for my first scene, got a video background, I've got my text on the top, I think I'm going to bring my playhead back to the start, and I'm going to go to add content, media. You can go to sound effects and record voiceover. So I'm going to click that. Now you're in a busy classroom. I know you are. So you definitely want to have this enhanced speech button on there, right? Microphone, I've got one. So I'll do start recording. The enhanced speech button will mean you don't have to go outside or to a quiet place to record. It's going to take out all of the background noise, all of the people around you. It's going to be really, really good. So let's click start recording. Curiosity, what's your question? Always got to do a good voice. You can see down the bottom here is saying it's enhancing the speech. I don't have any background noise, but it's going to make me sound even more like a studio presenter. So let's have a listen. Curiosity,
What's your question?
Nice. Bit of nasal tone there with my seasonal affection. So that first one's done. Easy peasy. Curiosity, what's your question? Let's go to add media, add a blank scene, and then let's think about which question I'm going to pose here. I think, do you know what? This one's good. Why don't birds get electrocuted when they land on an electric wire? It's a classic one, absolute classic. So what I'm going to do is go back to my video here. I think I'll click on the first scene, click my text here, and then I can go to the three dots, copy, go into my next scene, and then I can right click in the gray, paste, and then because I like this Dynapuff, I like everything about it. I like the outline I've put on it. I like the size of it roughly. I'm going to triple click in here, paste my, I was going to say paste my new text in there. Let me just get it again. There we go. Why don't birds get electrocuted when they land on an electric wire? Okay, so let's try and find a background that's going to go with this. Add content, media, videos, birds, wire. Hey, there we go. Nice. There's another one there, but that one's looks very far away. This one is perfect. Click, add as a layer on the canvas. Nice. Now you can see it. I've got stripes at top and bottom. All you need to do to solve that is go to fill video. And then don't forget that your text is underneath your video. So you need to bring that on top. Here, because I kind of either want to put it above or below, don't quite have the space that I'm looking for. So maybe what I'll do is I'll do this kind of thing. And then it gives me a bit more space, which is good. But also, I think I'm going to put my cursor next to they and then press enter. There we go. And then it's a little bit more spaced out or a little bit more balanced. And then I can bring it down. Okay, nice. So we did some animation in the first one. You know, curiosity, what's your question?
What's your question?
What's your question? And that is now spinning in because I copied it, remember? But I actually don't want this one to spin in. I'm going to click it, animation, and we'll go. Oh, that one's pretty cool. Bungee. I think I will do bungee, and I think I'll have it bungeeing start outside the page. That's a bit weird. Let's go. Why isn't it bungeeing in? Right now, bungee. It's kind of bungeeing in from the side. Text segment none. Oh, there you go. Start outside a page. Yeah, big. That was what was happening. Text segment none. So the whole thing comes down together. I've got it coming down from the top down, and it needs to start outside the page. So it's going to look a little bit like boing. Okay, cool. Now, what I can do with this background video as well is I can zoom in on it. There we go. Have it nice and big, nice and chunky. Right, nice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my playhead not quite at the start, but nearly at the start. And then I go to add content, media, and we'll do music, record voiceover. Oh, where did it go? Blimey. Media, music, record voiceover, microphone, select the right one. I'm going to turn off enhanced speech because I don't need the help with that. Well, actually, no, I'll leave it on. Start recording. Why don't birds get electrocuted when they land on an electric wire? Right. That's my voiceover. But what you'll see is, if I zoom in, come on, I'll zoom in down here, is that my voiceover is 7.1 seconds, but my video of the birds is 19.3 seconds. Nobody wants to be watching these birds not really doing that much for 19 seconds. So just click and drag that so it's just past the end of your voiceover. There you go. Then I'm going to 3 dots. Oh, not 3 dots. Press the plus, add media, add a blank scene. What am I going to choose this time? Do aliens exist? Of course I am. Copy that. What I'll do is, what am I going to do? Well, actually, the way I've been doing it before is I've been getting this, copying it, going over here, pasting it in. And then that means I'll have to go, ooh, sorry, it wasn't on the right screen. Apologies. So I copied the text here. I go into the 3 dots, copy. I went over here, right-clicked and pressed paste. This came in on here. And then I'll have to go back to my page, do aliens exist, copy. And then triple click in here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, sometimes if you can't get it all, go to the 3 dot. Oh no, use Control and A on your keyboard. Paste in the new one. Do aliens exist? Yeah, nice and big like that. Now I don't know where this is going to sit because I need to go to Add Content, Media, Videos, Alien. Let's see what we get. Madness. Do aliens exist? Well, there's a lot of robots. It's a crazy alien there. What is he doing? Madness. Maybe I'll just do like a flying saucer type one. Whoa, what is that? Yeah, let's do it. Click it. Add as a layer on the canvas. Whoa, mental. Put my text above there. Maybe what I'll do is do aliens exist? Love this. And then I've got my text in the right place. It's bungeeing again. Maybe I can change the animation on that. Do aliens exist? A wobble? Yeah, let's do a wobble. And then I'm going to go to Add Content, Media, Music, Record Voiceover, get the right microphone. Do aliens exist? Who's this guy? There we go. And then again, we're in the situation here where my voiceover is only like a few seconds, maybe 4 or 5 seconds, but this video, see, look, 4.7 seconds, but my video clip is 26.5. So what I'm doing with this is I'm grabbing the end, bringing it in, grabbing the end, bringing it in. So it's just after. There we go. Nice. Okay, duckily. So there we go. Maybe I can change the color on this one. Yeah, green feels more of an alien color, if I'm honest. Much more like an alien color. Maybe this one needs to be a little bit more, I don't know, joyful. There you go. First one I'll keep as black, I think, because the background is very, very colorful. And this one here. In fact, I will bring up the outline thickness on this. There you go. Do aliens exist? Where is this video from? And I'll do 1 or 2 more here. because I want to show you other things that you can do. What makes a rainbow? Great idea. A lot of you probably know that already, actually. But let's go to add media, add a blank scene. Let's go to add content, media, videos, rainbow. What do we got? Oh, that one's cool. I don't want it to be like a digital rainbow. I want it to be an actual rainbow. But actually, one which has got refraction in is probably a good idea, because that is how it works, isn't it? You guys know all that. I know you do. I don't want it to be cartoony. I want it to be real. Oh yeah, that one's good. Although the problem is it's portrait and it's not landscape. Oh, that one's good. I'll use this one as a layering canvas. This is also portrait and not landscape. But if I go to fill video, I feel like this one had a little bit more movement in it, which is cool. Yeah, that's nice. You can see the trees and stuff like that. That's cool. Okay, so let's go and copy some text. 3 dots, copy, go into our video, paste it in. But now we need to go and get the right text, which is what makes a rainbow. Copy that. Triple click, Bosch. What makes a rainbow? Maybe we'll stick this. Maybe we'll stick it down here. Something like that. I wonder if I can click on text color. I was going to say, like, I could go to effects and generate text effect. Ooh, rainbow. What did you want it to look like? I want it to look like a rainbow. Generate. Ah, this could be cool. Let's see how it goes. And I could also click in here, maybe move the rainbow over a little bit. Oh, look at that. Little bit of AI makes the medicine go down. Look at that. What makes the rainbow? How should this one work? I think that first one is great. So if you want to do that, you go to text, effects, and the pencil. Oh, sorry, I'm on the wrong tab. Here we go. So you'd select your text, paste it in there, and then you can go to effects, go to your pencil, and I just put rainbow in there. That was it. And then it puts it in there as an effect, which is great. Love it. And then I'll go to animation. How should this go in? Flicker, no, fade. Maybe fade. No. Yeah, the grow is good. I like that. What makes a rainbow? Oh, look, the video's going all over the place. So let's put our voiceover in. So I'm going to put my playhead just off the start. Go to add content, media, music, record voiceover. Or in fact, maybe I can go to videos, record yourself. There we go. And go start recording. What makes a rainbow? And is there a pot of gold at the end of it? There we go, save recording. And for this one, I don't want it to be so big on my screen here. It doesn't need to be so big. So while it's processing, I'll go to crop. I'll go to circle. That's good. Click done. Size it down a bit. Pop myself in there. You can do stuff like that. That's quite good fun. So let's see how that works. What makes a rainbow? And is there a pot of gold at the end of it? Oh, that's kind of nice, because when I say, is there a pot of gold, I actually end up landing at the end of the rainbow, which is cool. I can enhance speech on it. There you go. I can also just trim this video down ever so slightly. There we go. And let's see what that last one looks like. What makes a rainbow? And is there a pot of gold at the end of it? But now, I tell you what my problem is that if I look down here, my video is slightly longer. So it's slightly longer than my recorded video. So what I'm going to do is just bring it so that they're in line with each other, which means that then when I play...
Is there a pot of gold at the end of it?
Oh, it's still slightly too long. There you go. If you just touch it in so it brings off the edge of it, then they will now end at the same time.
A pot of gold at the end of it.
Perfect. Okay. As always, what do we like to do with our scene transitions? We like to go to the plus in between. Add a transition. I always like a dissolve. You know me. I'm a dissolve man. Apply to all scenes. Yes, sir. Yes, madam. Apply to all scenes. Don't want to be doing work more than I need to. All the transitions now are between the scenes. And of course, we need to go and add media. Let's go to music. Morning Rainbow. Okay. I think it nailed it straight away. I'm happy with that. It gives you suggestions based on things in your text. So it gave us a rainbow tune. I don't know. It sounded pretty good to me. Volume, I always go about 15%. And I always make sure that it fades out. Always make sure that it fades out. Some people like to fade in and out. I like to just fade out. There we go. Fade out duration 2 seconds. That's absolutely fine. Let's have a little look-see.
Curiosity. What's your question? Why don't birds get electrocuted when they land on an electric wire? Do aliens exist? Who's this guy? What makes a rainbow? And is there a pot of gold at the end of it?
Nice. Do you know what? I think of all the videos that I chose, this one in the background here is not the best. The quality is not that good because I've stretched it so much, you see. So maybe I'll go to click it, press replace it with a video. Maybe that one. Replace. But then once it's in there, bring the size down. What does that look like now?
What makes a rainbow?
Rubbish. Terrible. Replace videos. Why is that one so not good? Do you know what? The easiest way sometimes when you replace them and you've already cropped them and things like that, sometimes that can be an issue. So I'm going to just delete it. Add media videos. Now if I go to add as a layer on canvas, make sure that it's behind my text and my video. Why am I so small all of a sudden? There you go. Click that video and fill video. Let's see if that's any better.
What makes a rainbow? And is there a pot of gold at the end of it?
Cool. That works well. I like that a lot. Right. The music works out. It fades out at the end. I'm happy with that. Let's go. If you want to download it, you can. Download. Video resolution 720, please. No 1080p's. Nobody wants that. Download it. And otherwise, you're going to click share. You can send it to Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, or get yourself a view-only link. There it is. Okie dokie. That is a wrap. Very cool. There you go. Thanks for coming to British Science Week 2026, the Adobe Express live lesson. If you want certificates sent out, make sure your teacher has registered adobe.ly/live lessons for this session. You'll also see the upcoming sessions as well. Otherwise, thank you very much for coming. Do stay curious, ask lots of questions, and if you do ask a question, maybe choose one and see if you can find out the answer, which you can share with the rest of your class. All right, great stuff, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.